KFIZ News Time, 8:12. On this July the 4th, no, it's October the 4th. Feels more like July the 4th here as we welcome you into Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. Full house here this morning. At least we got the air conditioner on. And Ron, what do you think? 90 degrees today, huh?
Yeah, it is a lot more like July 4th than October 4th, that's for sure.
My goodness.
I don't think we've ever seen I don't remember ever seeing a 90-degree day in October.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, if it hits 91, it'll be an all-time record for October. We've never hit 91. Only one time in Fond du Lac have we hit 90 degrees in October. So,
yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different. It has been different the last week or two or couple weeks here now. We're just kind of almost starting to get used to it again, but we're going to have to get used to a normal October weather starting this coming week though again.
Yeah, it's going to start to cool off a little bit. So we've got Master Gardener Carol in studio. We got Luke in studio here. So a couple of other guests as well. And Carol, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
Great day to talk landscaping. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Luke, tell us a little bit about where you're from.
We're from right here in Fond du Lac.
Excellent. So you're working for a landscaping company as well, right?
Yes, I'm the owner of Roffers Landscaping, and we're located kind of right by Ron. We work hand in hand. We get all our plants from him and stuff. So
good deal. Ron, what do you guys got going on here today at Rademann's?
Well, I'm sure it's a pretty busy day at Rademann's actually with, people have to be able to take advantage of a nice weekend like this. So if you do need something, you might want to hustle out there and get it before we get busy here today. And of course, you can still get a delivery here today. 920-922-7612, or otherwise stop on out. We're just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac, and then east on County B, just about a quarter mile. So right just off Highway 41, real close by, actually.
Good deal. What do you do? I mean, temperatures have been hot. It's been very dry. With the fall, is there anything special that should be done for lawns or for pruning, chopping down your bushes and stuff like that? Is it something we should be doing?
Well, at this time of year, you're kind of in between lawn fertilization programs and things like that. If you were doing anything you'd want to do, you probably could have done a step 3 here last week yet. Definitely don't do step 4, because with this warm weather, your lawn will grow to beat the band. If you put a winterizer fertilizer down right now, you're going to want to wait into November for that, which you should every year, really. But sometimes people try to get the jump on it, and then they end up doing a lot of extra work and a lot of extra mowing in the fall, and then they didn't do their winterizer didn't do any good. Is that what you see, Luke?
I don't know. Honestly, we don't do too much spraying. We sub a lot of the spraying part of that out. So it's different every year too. Like right now, you know what I mean? Like with the temperatures, sometimes everything's already done growing by now, and sometimes we're gonna have another month of it. So
and the trees they aren't really changing color very rapidly here today yet. It's been so warm. They're some of them are losing their leaves, but they're not even turning color. They're just drying up and dropping. I see a lot of that.
Yeah, those messy black walnut trees keep dropping stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's been the colors. They're not suspected to get in really good shape this year because of the dry temperatures, right?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see good fall color at all this year. It should really be coloring up right now, and we should be starting to see it, and we're not really seeing it. Everything is still either green and growing, let's just say, although it's not really growing, it's just not changing either yet.
Yeah.
And I don't think we as the temperatures start dropping here this coming week, and it sounds like we might get a little rain, but that doesn't really affect larger trees much, because if we do get a rain, it's going to probably soak in about 2, 3, 4 inches, and that's about it. And that the roots on most larger trees haven't even started there yet.
Yeah.
So rain doesn't really help, isn't going to help at this point in time, unless we would get a week of rain, and that's not going to happen. We're still in a drier period.
I saw a map just the other day of last year this time, the fall colors compared to, each county compared to this year. And this time last year, a lot of the northern counties in Wisconsin were past peak. And this year, right now, they're either at peak or some are still not even to peak yet. So just crazy how the weather can affect what happens to the trees.
Yeah, and we had that warm or that cool spell kind of in August, and you thought, the end of August, and you thought, boy, we're going to be in for, an early fall. And as it turned out, then we've had unseasonably warm temperatures here through all of September.
Yeah. All right. We had one on the line and then they dropped off. So if you want to call through, 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Phone lines are open. We'd be happy to take your calls. Also, you can email us, kfizstudio@gmail.com. And it's always helpful if you've got a question, maybe to attach a picture or something like that as well.
Well, that's the advantage of the email, is you can send a picture, and that sometimes helps us quite a bit, All
right, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You are at KFIZ.
Yes, I have a question. I live out in the country, and we have woodchucks and all kinds of creatures out here. What is the best protection to put around the house, like gravel, or, what kind of best so they don't want to try to get in? What's the best stuff to put down?
Well, if you can put, like landscape stone or gravel together with landscape fabric.
It'll help deter them, but that's not really going to stop them. They'll dig through almost anything. They'll eat through chicken wire in the gravel. I've seen it.
Okay. All right. So it's hard to know what to put down, but if I want it, I don't want just right now. I just have ground there, and they dig through that. If I put some kind of gravel, that would maybe help a little bit, anyways, right?
Well, or maybe larger, even like boulders or chunks
like
of stone.
Flagstone or something.
Yeah,
that
if
can
you
cover a larger area.
If you'd use more pieces of larger stone, because if it's just gravel, they'll just dig right through that real easily too.
Oh, gravel wouldn't help much, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, though, very much. I have one more question, though. When I have a plant that I want to bring in or something, in the store they have like a potting mix, and then it's something else. What is the best ground that you use for the flowers when you bring? I want to bring one in. I want to kind of save it. Just a potting mix, or what they have on the bag. Potting soil, sometimes it says, and sometimes it says potting mix. Which is the best?
I don't honestly know the difference between those two words, but most of them say potting soil mix.
Okay.
I usually put some of the dirt, at least what's around the roots yet, in there as well, so that you've got a little more consistency for a plant that's going to be inside, to have, the extra regular ground and the potting mix. Put it together. It gives it a little more substance. Otherwise, it seems to me like I'm watering all the time.
Yes, I understand. That makes sense.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
There aren't a lot of differences between those potting soils. No. One manufacturer calls it potting soil mix, and the other one calls it potting mix.
Right.
And it's pretty much probably comes right out of the same bin at the same factory. Mm-hmm. But one is, prepackaged for Fleet Farm, and one is prepackaged for Lowe's, and one is prepackaged for Home Depot, and
Exactly.
so they all have to look a little different, but they're all pretty much the same. And like Carol said, you can almost tell just by lifting up the bag, maybe more than anything. If it's real light, then you've got more, you got less soil and more perlite or more matter in there. And of course, the lighter the bag, the more you're going to have to water. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you have a heavier bag, then it's going to hold the moisture better. So, but as far as the actual name on the bag, it probably isn't going to matter too much.
923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Phone lines are back open if you've got a question to get through. Also, KFIZstudio@gmail.com if you've got a question you want to email to us or a picture to email to us. You can do that here as well. We're going to step aside, take our first quick break here this morning. And Ron, let us know what's going on over at Rademann Stone and Landscape Company.
Well, Rademann's, it's Saturday morning, so Rademann's is open till noon on Saturdays. And, as we said earlier, the easiest way to get to us is work your way over to Highway 41, and if you're just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac, watch for County Trunk B, that's B as in boy, and we're just east on County B there, a quarter mile right at the crest of the hill.
KFIZ News Time, 8:26. Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company here. 65 degrees, on our way to a high today of 90. Yes, you heard that correctly. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Carol, the garden is wrapped up for the year. And what's going on over at the Master Gardeners program right now?
Well, the Master Gardeners a lot of them do school gardens.
Okay.
So, they start them in the spring, though, of course, not now, but they're still dealing, with produce from it at this time. And we have a Junior Master Gardener program, which has been up until this year because right now we're kind of in limbo. It's been in front of the campus. We have kids coming already in March. We get maybe 15 kids. They come every other week, late after school. And that's when we talk about seed packages and we plant some things so that they can watch that because we have the use of the greenhouse there at the campus. So now it's just a matter of the extension ladies are gone, though.
Okay.
And so that's where the program had been done because it was half cooking and half gardening in our hour-and-a-half schedule.
Excellent.
So we are not sure whether the cooking part is going to be able to be sustained or not. So we're still waiting to hear what's going on. Yes.
Excellent.
Because the extension people are gone.
Okay. Yes. All right. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. We talk about gardening and stuff like that. I actually, there's a farm we usually go over towards Watoma on the weekends. We got a place over there. There's a farm that we always stop at to get our corn. Oh. And they still had corn last weekend, which is just crazy. We stopped there the weekend before, and the person that runs it, we asked if there was corn left, and they said, we're actually think we've got, they planted another batch midsummer, expecting a later fall. Uh-huh. And they said, we've got one more batch coming in just a little bit. So it's just crazy.
How did they know?
I don't know.
They could have a batch so late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it was they just got lucky.
Well, that first sweet corn that's ready, kind of the end of July or first part of August, then you eat that and then you kind of get sick of it after
right,
a while.
Yeah.
And we're now again, it kind of sounds good again because you haven't had corn on the cob for the last month or so now again.
Yeah, we freeze it quite a bit. We'll buy extras and freeze it for the winter and stuff like that. So, yeah. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Are there any topics you want to talk about, Ron?
I don't know. Probably should think of something to talk about, yeah. I don't know. At this time of year, it just seems, like if you can't talk about fall color, what can you talk about?
Right, exactly. That's just really odd, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the, some trees are just don't are more consistent for fall color than others, and so so you do still get some fall color out of certain varieties, but some are a little more questionable. They only have good fall color in the good years.
Yeah. Oh, we had a phone call on. If they dropped off, if you want to call on through, we'll get you on the air here. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. And yeah, it's just odd that there's no fall color. I mean, if you're planning or thinking about planting a tree, now they're calling back through. Good morning, you're on KFIZ.
Hey, I got a problem.
Oh, you're cutting out on us. All right. Try to call back. You dropped off on us. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Again, what I was saying before, planting trees. Fall, good time?
Yeah, it's a great time right now to be planting. And what's nice about it, if you are planting trees at this time of year yet, the ground temperatures are still warm enough, and the tops aren't growing, so you aren't getting any new growth out the tops. There's no new leaves forming, things like that, but the roots will continue to grow as long as the ground temperatures are warm enough. So if you can plant right now, it's an ideal time. You save yourself some work on planting in the spring, because in the spring they're trying to put new leaves on, some are trying to flower, and they're all trying to grow at where if you get them planted now, the roots will root out, and then you're on a little bit easier schedule for watering next year. You can probably get by watering, twice a month, or, every 10 days, every 2 weeks. You might even be able to go a whole month in the summer, if it's cooler and wetter in June. But if you plant in May of next year, you're still gonna be watering a couple times a week. So there are definite advantages to planting at this time of year, and you can kind of see that municipalities plant in the fall. We say the professionals plant in the fall. They'll replant. The municipalities, we do some planting like at campgrounds, at some of the different cemeteries and things like that. They'll do replantings in the fall, and it's just easier for them because you plant now and you water a couple times and you're good to go then from now through the end of the year. Because if you do water and it's not when it's 90 degrees, it dissipates rather quickly yet. But for the most part, with temperatures in the 70s, if you water, you're good for a week or 2 weeks without watering again. Do you have anything else to add to that, Luke? Or
just along with watering, I was just thinking about mulching them in and stuff before the winter.
I was going to ask you that. So that was my next question so we planted some trees in spring. We belong to a lake association. There's a program. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's get to this phone call first. Good morning. You're on KFIZ. Good morning. Go ahead. You're on KFIZ.
Hello. My question is, what is the best time of the year to transplant irises? Is it too late now to do it?
I wouldn't think so. I know that's going to be my project for part of today. Is my irises have almost browned up completely because it's been so dry. I intend to pull those leaves off. I think you can move them. They have to be God's most strong plant there is. Pull them apart though. Don't take a whole chunk and put that whole chunk together. Take them, sort of an inch or two apart from each other, and move them to wherever you want to. I don't think there'll be a problem. Maybe today's really hot and you should throw some water in there. But otherwise, later in the week, just dig some out and move them wherever you want. But they have to stay almost on the surface. You have to see the top of that iris root. Okay. Just so it's just covered. Right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you for the phone call. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Back at we the DNR has a program where they sell seedlings, more the smaller trees and stuff like that. We took advantage of it, got some, and planted those in spring. I guess my question for you, Luke, is mulching. What do we do with those here in the winter months to make sure that they're strong and they survive through the winter?
Did you guys already put mulch on them? Or?
We did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So should we put more mulch, or is there?
It kind of depends how much you put on the first time and what it looks like. But like another thing that you could do is kind of loosen it up, spread it around.
Refluff it.
Yeah, we've actually had a few
Mm-hmm.
customers lately with that humidity that came through. Some of the mulch that we did earlier in the year, it's like drying in like sheets. It's like clumping together in like 2 foot by 2 foot pieces.
Okay.
It's kind of weird, but I think it's just all the humidity and
Mm-hmm.
moisture that's stuck in it, and not moisture in the ground.
Okay.
The heat it's creating in the morning with the temperature differences and stuff.
Yeah.
They could probably almost use a watering. Any trees that were planted earlier this year with it as dry as it's been, as warm and as dry as it's been over the last month or so now, especially seedlings that are surface rooted, let's just say, yet they're not really rooted down deep into it. So you probably could really benefit by even just, watering them right now yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do add some mulch, one thing I learned from Ron is you kind of do it the opposite way. You eventually, like how it eventually just volcanoes, or not volcanoes, that's when it gets too high, but you want to do kind of like an inverse, like a bowl, so it kind of catches the water for it.
Yeah. I never thought about that. That's great tip.
It's like a big funnel then. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better if the mulch isn't touching the trunk.
not directly up against the tree though.
Okay.
Yeah, you want the mulch more in a circle out a donut shape, more or less, and go outside the root system. If you can hold that moisture out further,
Should encourage more
it
root growth.
encourages the root growth out further rather than just keeping it right in tight.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is kind of toughen, that toughens these new seedlings, new transplants up, and that way they reach out for moisture, reach down for moisture. So it's okay. It's kind of tough love. You don't want to be watering them, 2 or 3 times a week and making it easy for them. You want them to reach out for moisture, but at the same time, now where it's been dry for really a month, they probably could use a little bit of a rescue in a way.
Okay.
Our sod cutter won't even cut through the ground right now.
Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on KFIZ.
Good morning. I have a question. I would like to transplant a prickly pear to another spot, and also we have a couple yucca plants. Can I transplant them into another spot in my yard?
Ooh, I'm not even sure. I mean, I know what a yucca plant is.
Yeah, what's a prickly pear?
I don't know what a prickly pear is either.
It's a pear, or it's a cactus.
Oh, yes. I have a whole great big patch of that.
Now, can I transplant that?
You can, and it transplants actually very easily.
Okay.
So now, right now would be a good time to pull those out.
Okay.
You got to get a little bit of a root.
Ideal time
Yes.
right now.
And then move them to the new spot that you want. Don't pile them up really close on each other because they'll grow really fast. So,
Okay.
give them a little space in between. But that should work. And
Now,
then,
with the yucca plant, are the roots real deep?
I think so. I looked at mine, and usually I just end up, because the same one will only bloom, I think, twice, and then it kind of falls away, it like rots. Then I just take that away. But are you thinking about moving them to a new spot?
Yes.
I think it's going to be a pretty deep dig. But I haven't done it
really?
in a while, so I wouldn't swear to that. But I think there's quite a bit of root there, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
But give it a try. And now it's
Thank you.
dry, so you probably could get that done,
It
Today
might
is the
be
process
easier to water it
Yep.
a couple times. Water it today, water it tomorrow, and then maybe even Monday yet, and get it wet down deep, because otherwise you're going to be digging down where it's real dry. And so if you'd water it, 3 days in a row or 3 out of 4 days, and then wait a couple more days to move it, that would be ideal. So then if you'd try and move it more like next weekend, let's just say water it this weekend and early part of the week, and then actually do the transplanting of it next weekend.
Yeah, okay. That's brilliant, Ron. That's what you should do, and it's good that you'll have that time, because you don't want to be digging today anyway. So that'll give you a break on that end. You wait until next week. But the watering is a good idea. Yes. It's
so dry down deep that if you can water first, you'll end up with a better. And the same thing goes for any plants that you'd be transplanting right now. It might be easier to irrigate them, even if you're transplanting irises, but for the most part, I don't think you could, like you said, irises are about as tough as it gets. Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to retain any type of, cluster of roots on transplanting perennials, it's the right time of year to do it, just the wrong time of the week to do it in this case.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and the same thing would go with the prickly pear. It's just so dry right now, when you try to dig down, all the dirt's going to fall off. And you're not going to get a real good cluster of root system. It's going to be more like a bare root plant. And of course, any plants will do better if you can keep some soil attached to the root or attached to the bulb, or
Okay.
So
awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the phone call, 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. It's time for another break here on Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. Ron, tell us about Rademann's.
So yeah, Rademann's open today. You can still get a delivery if you give them a call out there and get that lined up. 920-922-7612. Get yourself some work here yet for the nice weekend. Or stop on out. We're just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac. Open till noon today.
KFIZ News Time, 8:44, Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. We have Carol, Luke, and Ron in here this morning, and we're going to talk retaining walls, right, Ron? We've been requested to chat about retaining walls a little bit, so the microphones go to Ron and they go to Luke.
Well, it's always a good time to build a retaining wall. That's the best part about doing retaining walls, I guess, is it doesn't matter if it's 90 degrees or 60 degrees or 32 degrees. You can always build a retaining wall. And of course, we sell all the materials to do the retaining walls at Rademann's, and that's why we invite Luke onto the show so that he can talk a little bit. And he's actually working on a outcropping wall right now. We were looking at some pictures during the break.
Joe got me some pallets yesterday. Thank you, Joe.
Well, and some of that stuff we have it's limited supply because
it seems like sometimes there's a ton of it, and then sometimes there's not. Like yesterday, I think I got like 6 pallets, and I'm grabbing 10 more on Monday, and then there might be none, and for a little while, like a week or so, and then there'll be 30 again. So just once you realize you need it, just call right away. Probably.
Well, because it's a natural stone product and it's coming out of the quarries, it depends what kind of
for thickness,
what veins of the quarry we're in, and sometimes we're in, layers of limestone that's 2 or 3 inches, and of course then we're not able to procure retaining wall stone. It's more flagstone, and so it depends on what layers that we come across and the quality and the different. So because it's not really we're dealing with Mother Nature, we're dealing with whatever God gave us from a million years ago, and it just varies as we go down into the quarries. We run across some thick layers, and our inventory we can go for 2 or 3 weeks without getting into the right vein, the right thickness. So then, of course, the contractors like Luke, they're kind of subject to all the things that we are in the quarries too, as far as procuring the product.
Another thing too, sometimes I have to get way more than I actually need. I have to keep getting pallets because like the heights of the natural stone is different.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, like the wall I'm building now, I have rocks everywhere, spread out. I set it in place, 3-4 times, and maybe on the 4th time you like it, and then I think I'm a little too picky on it, but
that makes it good though, right?
Yeah, it's natural stone, but you just
You
want it
don't
to be sturdy.
too natural.
They're pretty big pieces of stone too. They're all set with the excavator and backfilled with clear stone.
Mm-hmm. What are you using mostly, like a 5 or 6 inch layers in this? How tall is the retaining wall that you're working on? What's it going to end up being for height?
It'll be just over 8 feet tall, but it's 2 tiers. So there's a 14-foot radius that's going to be 4.5 foot tall. And
so you got 4 to 5 foot, 2 4 to 5 foot walls, basically.
About 4 foot, and the face of one of them drops a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as long as like we were saying, I think we said a few months ago too, I was talking about like the clear stone, open grade base, stuff like that. As long as we have all our base in and compacted and stuff, even if it rains like it's supposed to on Monday, we'll just continue to keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a little messy, but it's still going to be solid. But
yeah, that's the advantages of if you're doing lawn work, you can't put in someone's lawn on the day it rains. Whereas if you're working on a retaining wall, you can still kind of keep things moving.
Although I think it was the beginning of last week or a week and a half ago, it did rain a tiny bit one of those nights. We went to it was new construction about 4 months ago. We put the lawn in 2-3 months ago, and it rained all night. Not hard, obviously, but we went there the next day, and it didn't even affect like working in the yard. It didn't change anything. The yard still had like 1 inch gaps in some areas. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like we said, it's been quite dry here now the last 6 weeks or so, really.
Yeah, that customer had sprinklers set up, and he said he was running them every day, and there was still like, it's a little bit of a pitched yard too, so the water doesn't get a chance to really soak in. But I think you would have to run them nonstop because there were still cracks in the yard.
So do you do retaining walls year round, or is it just a summer, fall, spring thing?
No,
okay.
we usually about middle of November.
Okay.
Sometimes a little longer.
Maybe this year it'll be longer. Maybe it'll be December, right?
If we would get one started, we could continue probably.
Okay.
And then you always have like that January month where it's like, or January or February, there's a week where it's like 60, 50 degrees.
You think you could almost get one in it.
You want to.
Yeah.
It's hard if you're working with frozen chunks of ground.
Yeah. Once we get some frost, we usually call it.
Yeah, it's difficult then to keep going on them. If you're, like you said, if you're in the middle of one, you can kind of finish it up. But when you're starting to excavate and even your equipment doesn't operate quite as well when it's 0 out or 10 degrees, the iron is cold.
Yeah. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Go ahead, Luke.
I was just going to say it breaks a lot more stuff too in the winter.
Yeah.
If customers are interested in doing a retaining wall for their landscaping, what are some things that they should think about before calling? And
honestly, they don't really have to think about much. We can go over it all when I get there.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty much 2 different kinds of wall. There's going to be like an engineered block where there's like a Unilock, Versalock.
Okay.
And then natural stone. So it's kind of the look you're going for. There is a little bit of differences in the specific time that a certain one would kind of be recommended over a different one.
Okay.
But for the most part, you can kind of pick what you want, and we can design it to make it happen that way.
Perfect. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on KFIZ.
Yeah, I got a question if Carol's still around for the onion
Yeah, she's over there in the corner someplace. There, we'll get a microphone in front of her. Go ahead.
Yeah, about my onion sets. I got them planted. I don't know when to pick the tops off, for reseeding.
on the what we call the walking onions.
Yeah, I
Yes.
call them just winter onions, eating onions.
Right. They should be pretty dried out, are they not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
But-
Pick them off and replant them. Well,
Okay.
don't do that quite yet. Wait until it's almost freezing the ground, and then put them in.
Yeah, I got them from you last year, I think. So.
Oh, are you the gentleman that I mailed them to?
Yeah.
Well,
thank
all
you.
right.
Yeah.
So you got it
Okay.
going.
Yep, we got her going.
Okay.
And also for my tomatoes, how do I get them to turn a little red faster yet?
That's a really good answer. Maybe red paint is about all you're going to be able to do. No, they're taking their time. Mine are not doing much either. Yes.
So, well, thank you very much for the onions.
Sure thing.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the phone call. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. We need to take one. Actually, I think another call is coming through here. Let's try this here first. Nope, that one's not there. So we're going to take another quick break here before the top of the hour. We got about 7 minutes left in the show. Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. Ron?
So, yeah, give us a call with 7 minutes left. It'll be 6 by the time I'm done talking. So, anyway, yeah, Rademann's open today, Saturday until noon, Monday through Friday till 4:30. And if you're tuning in late, you can catch us on YouTube. Just search Landscape Smart 25 and listen in for there.
KFIZ News Time, 8:55. Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. Got about 4 minutes if somebody wants to quickly call through right now. We'll get you quickly on the air. And then we've got the Jerry and Karen Schneider show. People are excited about that because they've got them and they got Brewer baseball. So we're not going to air the Badgers today, Badgers of Michigan. We've got the Brewers coming up at 1:08. I see you got your Brewer gear on ready to go, right, Ron?
Well, we got to see if we can knock those Cubs out.
Sean Kaiser and I've got a bet going on because he's a Cubs fan and I'm a Brewers fan. So,
well, there's a lot of Cubs fans still around.
Yeah,
here.
there is. Yeah. Well, we talk all the time. Growing up, I was the Brewers in the American League and the Cubs in the National League because Cubs were on TV all the time. Brewers weren't now that all games are on TV, but back when I was younger, it was just road games, but all the Cubs games were on WGN. So,
well, and I started out as a Cubs fan too because it was before there was a Brewers team, and so but of course I've transitioned over through the years now, but yeah, so we'll see if we can keep it going, get back on track.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting series, and just looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So. Yeah. But what else do you got for us as we just about wrap up here? A couple more minutes left.
Well, I was just going to say, too, if you're tuning in late and you want to hear about what we talked about earlier in the show, you can go on KFIZ On Demand and listen, or otherwise you can go on YouTube and you can actually see Luke's smiling face and Carol's beauty and my ugly mask here, but anyway, just go on YouTube and search Landscape Smart 25, and then all of our past episodes will come up. Cody will get around to getting this one up to speed over the weekend here. It doesn't always, usually takes them till Sunday or Monday to get today's episode up, but you can still listen in for last week's.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll mention on that, a little known fact is just hit subscribe. There's a subscribe button on YouTube, and it pops right up right when the shows are added. So
it's better if you just subscribe, then you can. It's easier to find us each time. But if you're new, you can find us real easily too. So and deliveries today are going on yet, and it's going to be a hot one out there today, but people could still do some work. Yeah, you can still get a delivery today, and even if you just work at it slow and steady, that still wins the race too. And of course, it's going to be nice tomorrow. And if we do get a little rain Sunday night or into Monday, I don't think that's going to have much of a bearing on anything. If anything, it'll probably help us a little bit because it has been so dry. So with a little luck, maybe we will get a little rain.
Yeah, we'll definitely need it. That is for sure. As we just about wrap up the program here. And Ron, been a good week. People can also email in throughout the week, and then we'll get it on next week's show, right?
Sure. Yep, that's always, you can send us a picture through or anything like that. So anyway, yeah, Rademann's open till noon today, Monday through Friday till 4:30, and you can still get a delivery. Give us a call, 920-922-7612, or stop on out. We're just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac and then east on County B about a quarter mile.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ron. Have a good week. Thanks to Carol and Luke for joining us here this morning as well on Landscape Smart, presented by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company.